Hey, welcome everyone to Home Based Business 101. This week's edition, we are going to be talking about how to tie your offer to your audience. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Meredith Banka, and I am the founder of the Sidekick Gurus and also the host of Home Based Business 101. And this week, we are 3 weeks into a series around how to better market your home based business. And so I'm just checking to make sure that I'm live here in the group that we have on Facebook. So if you haven't joined us there yet, it is called the Sidekick Gurus, and it is a private community for passionate business builders who are building a business and their own economy from home, which I'm finding is, a ton more people these days based on everything that we have had happening in our worlds and our communities for the last couple of years. I'm particularly thankful for the opportunity to work from home and to help other entrepreneurs learn how to do the same thing. So let's talk a little bit more about this series that we've been doing, these four consecutive topics, if you will. The first we started with was our audience 2 weeks ago. Then last week we talked about our offers. And today we are going to talk about how to tie those together. This is one of the biggest pieces that I see entrepreneurs struggle with, this whole concept of what is it that I'm bringing to the marketplace? What is it that I'm offering to other people? Who exactly is my ideal audience? How can I find them? Where do I find them? How do I talk to them? How do I build the relationship? And most importantly, how do I take those relationships to the point of conversion where they're actually going to now become a customer or client and do business with me? And that's really what we're talking about today. How do we tie our offer and our audience together in a way that is meaningful? And it is so important to get this step right. So, a couple of weeks ago, when we talked about audience, we talked about really knowing and understanding what people were looking for, but also understanding their pain points and how you deliver on those pain points. What is their need? It might not, here in the marketing world, we call it a pain point. And I think that always makes me think about going to the emergency room and, they show you that grid of like little happy and unhappy faces. And they say on a scale of 1 to 10, which one of these are you? Like, how much pain are you in? I'm not necessarily talking about physical pain. I hopefully am not, unless you're a chiropractor or a massage therapist or something along those lines, which you may be. I'm talking more about what's what's the problem that they're looking for a solution to. And that problem might be a really joyful problem. Maybe you own a wedding venue, and the problem that your potential client has to solve, the situation that they have, isn't a problem really at all, is it? They're going to be getting married and they're looking for a venue and they want it to be the very best venue. And they have an idea what it is they're looking for. So, how do you communicate value to them? Well, you're going to communicate that value to them by sharing with them the things that address what you know their needs are. This is the difference between just slanging your product out there and hoping that people are going to buy or competing on cost. We've talked a lot on this podcast and in our group about being an entrepreneur in this particular day and age, this Walmart world that we are living in, and why the relationship is the great differentiator for a small business in this new economy. So if you want to get into relationship with these people, you need to understand them. And part of understanding your audience is knowing how you're going to help them solve for their need, their want, their desire, for the fact that they're excited and getting married and that they want to have the most beautiful venue. What an incredible thing to bring to someone, right? So don't necessarily think of the pain point as negative pain. Think of the pain point as what is their deepest need? What is the reason that they would be coming to you to do business with you? And what does that particularly look like? So when you tie these together, you want to be able to know what your unique selling proposition is. And there's a very simple template for a unique selling proposition. And that's the following sentence. I've used it here before. I help blank to blank by blank, with or without blank. I help blank, insert your audience, and don't just say women or newly engaged couples. Be a little bit more descriptive. I help newly engaged couples who are looking for an outdoor wedding. Oh, okay, that's going to differentiate. Nope, I want a church wedding. Okay, then you're not in my niche because I only have an outdoor venue. I cannot manufacture a church. They aren't your ideal customer. And by putting that in your unique selling proposition, you're immediately drawing people to you who want the outdoor wedding, and you're immediately sending people away who are looking for something else. That's not good or bad. It's just simply what people want. And you want to be able to talk to people who want more of what you've got. You don't want to be in the business, in this wedding venue example that we're using today, you don't want to be in the business of convincing somebody that what they don't want is a church wedding and what they do want is your wedding. They already decided on the church wedding. Why would you waste your time trying to convince them that what you've got is better when there are plenty of people to talk out there who actually to talk to out there who actually already want what you've got? You just need to show them why you're the best and why you are going to provide them with the thing that they've been looking for. So I help blank. Insert a descriptive name of your audience. Be descriptive here. 2, blank. What's the end result that you're giving them? And you're not just going to say, I help newly engaged couples have a great wedding. That's really bland. Instead, what you're going to say is, I help newly engaged couples who are looking for an outdoor wedding venue to, and then you're going to insert what you have to experience whatever attributes your outdoor wedding venue delivers so that they can have the wedding of their dreams with blah, 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 right? That's your formula for your unique selling proposition. And that is the backbone of tying your audience to the offer by showing them the value proposition. And it must be based in value and it must be descriptive. It serves as the backbone because then you can build upon that. In this structure, you should also be saying to yourself, what are the other secondary, what are my primary points that I solve for someone? What are my secondary points for someone? And what are the things that they are going to experience with me in this business that they're not going to find anywhere else? What makes you different? That's the glue that's going to take your audience and your offer, put them together, and then make them irresistible. Being able to describe this is critical if you are building a web page, a landing page, a brochure, a flyer, a website, an email. Having this backbone of your content strategy developed so that you know, I tie my audience and my offer together with this unique selling proposition. Here's how I describe it. Here's the pain points I'm addressing. Here are the benefits that I provide. And here are the extras that nobody else does. That is what you're going to use to make your offer irresistible to exactly the right people. Knowing that, and then being able to go out there and share it with other people. Maybe you want to outsource some social media. Maybe you want to outsource the build of that landing page. Can you imagine going to that creative person that's going to help you and saying, here's what I want. Here's an idea of this. I've worked a ton in creative services. I help clients with website strategy, social media strategy, all of those things. And again, I see business owners not knowing what they want in a concrete way because they haven't done this work, this foundational work. What is my offer? Who is my audience? How do I uniquely bring that together to create value in the eyes of my prospect and allow them to simply and easily say yes to doing business with me? So that brings up the second part after our unique selling proposition of what ties our audience to our offer. And that is the ease of doing business with you. If you're talking about a web page, if you're talking about a landing page, a funnel, whatever you want to call it, where is your button for people to do business with you? Is it above the fold? Is it brightly colored? When they click on it, is it 10 clicks to finally get to checkout? Or is it 1 click to checkout? And is that checkout simple? Is it streamlined? And do they get a thank you message and thank you email and thank you text message straight away? That is the minimum, bare minimum for running a digital business and doing business online. You have to have that infrastructure, and there are quite a few different ways that you can create it. Absolutely. However, You've got to make sure that you are easy to do business with. Easy to do business with. You will lose people's interest in the checkout process. You'll have abandoned carts, of course, and you can, look at the technology, you can follow up with those people, you can retarget them, all those really great things out there. But first, make sure that your process for people to do business with you is as easy as possible. Do you allow them to click to call? Do you have Google reviews? Do you have the things that are going to make it fantastic for people to say yes? And once they've said yes, that they absolutely love working with you. So that is everything that I had to share with you tonight on tying your audience and your offer together. It's really those two simple steps: creating your unique selling proposition and then making sure that your checkout process and allowing them to say yes to doing business with you is simple, clear, and easy. If you're having trouble getting started with any of these components, I highly recommend that you grab a copy of a new tool that I created, which is called the 60-Minute Marketing Method. You can find it at 60minutemarketingmethod.com. I'm excited. I just launched that new website today, actually. So 60minutemarketingmethod.com will take you to a downloadable 18 or 19 page PDF of how to set up the structure of an offer from your initial point of determining the value, of determining the audience, of determining what's included, and then how you're going to take it to market, including a template that you can use again and again and again to develop your marketing strategy. So best $27 you will ever spend is probably on this 60-minute marketing method, because you literally can use it again and again and again, like a recipe book. Every time you bake that banana bread, you pull out grandma's recipe. Imagine having a recipe for your marketing every time you got ready to launch. That's what this offers you, and I'm excited for you to get your hands on it. So thanks again for joining in here live tonight, or catching this on the replay, or on Apple or Spotify. Love having all of you here and can't wait to see you again next week. Take care, everybody. See you.